Hi everybody! Just to let you know that I am using StreamYard, so you need to click the little button at the top on the right hand side by the comments and just make sure that you are I'm able to see your comments. So I'm going to make a comment first of all, make sure it all shows. Hopefully you'll all be able to see that now. So we've still got a minute to go. We're okay. We're all okay at the moment. I have no idea whether we're actually live or we're not, to be quite honest with you. I think we are. I'm hoping we are. There doesn't seem to be anything on Facebook to say that we're live, but if anybody can put a comment in the box to say that they can see me, apart from me, then that would be great. Thank you. So what are we going to be talking about today? We are going to be talking about focus. We are Friday Focus after all, so this is what we need to do. So what is focus? Why do we need to do it? Why is it so difficult? It's impossible at the moment, isn't it? It's just I'm finding it really, really hard to focus on just one thing. I'm a multitasker. I always have been a multitasker until quite recently. And I think during this COVID, it's really, really tough to focus on anything, to concentrate on anything. So how can I help? What can I do to help you? So I've been talking to various people about this and what is the best way of doing it. And I've been talking to people mindset people, and there are certain things which you can do to help. And I'll post in here if anybody wants it. I'll post a PDF so that you can have a look at it as well. So the average human being only has an 8-second attention span. Not great, but it's actually less than the goldfish. So anybody who says, including Denise Little, who says I have an attention span of less than a fish, then that's really low. But actually I did too as well. So that number has shrunk over the years due to our digital connections as well, which is not great. So there are certain things that we can do to help us with our focus. And the first thing is to prepare your brain. So before before a task or before you set yourself a task, calm your brain. Take a minute or two to sit in a comfortable position, breathe deeply into your stomach. You don't have to sit cross-legged and chant and all the rest of it, but you do need to let your body to calm down. Personally, what I do is I try to visualize what my day is going to be like from the very first thing until I go to sleep at night. I used to do this sitting up in bed first thing in the morning, and I got interrupted so many times that it was just not worth it. So now what I do is the first thing that I do when I come into my office, before I've even looked at my daily plan, which I've probably done the night before, is to visualize my whole day. So I go through everything. So if I know, first thing, I visualize myself sitting at my desk and I'm looking at my computer, I'm answering my emails and getting all of that over and done with and sorted. And then as soon as I've done that, I work out what my meetings are, or in this particular case at the moment, my Zoom calls, etc. And I make sure that everything that I've already planned in my day is basically in my head. I've got a picture of exactly how it is. So if I've got a meeting with a client coming up, whether it's a Zoom meeting or a face-to-face meeting, what I do is I picture that meeting. I picture that meeting going really well. I picture coming out of that meeting, shaking the hand of the client and saying, this is fabulous, fantastic, thank you very much. I'm so pleased that we're going to be working together, or whatever it happens if it's a potential client. And if I've got something else going on, if I'm doing a really deep dive into a content creation or something like that, I'll set aside time to do it, but I'll visualize it in that morning that I've got that 2 hours, so in between 2 and 4 or whatever it happens to be. And I will go through in my head, preparing it all, getting it all ready, whether it's doing PowerPoint slides or whatever it happens to be. And I'll picture in my mind what those PowerPoint slides are going to look like, what the content's going to look like, what it's going to feel like. And that's, to me, is huge, is what it's going to feel like. Once I've done it, so if I'm sending it on to somebody else or something like that, then once I've actually done it, what am I going to feel like once I've actually put it in the email and I've sent it off? And then I go through finishing off the day, going to do my exercise, taking the dogs for a walk, whatever it happens to be, cooking the supper or eating supper, all the way up until getting into bed, calming down and ready for a really good night's sleep. Now, it doesn't always work by any manner of means, but sometimes it does. And when it does, it's powerful. It's really, really powerful. So visualization, if you can do visualization, then give it a go. It's really useful. So number 2 is understand where your focus needs to be. When you have that one thing that you've got to do, so you look at your calendar and you block out your 2 hours for your content creation or whatever it happens to be, then you can really, really focus down on it. But also what I quite often do is I book it as an appointment in my diary. So it's an immovable appointment. I can't change it. I'm not going to change it. It's 2 hours set to do my content creation or whatever it happens to be. And if I add it to my calendar, then it will pop up on my screen or on my phone or whatever to say, you've got your focus time now, which is fantastic, actually. And when I do my focusing, really, really focusing, when I really need to focus on something concentrated, if I'm doing someone's account, I have to make sure that my phone is off, my email is, notifications are switched off, all of my notifications to my social media are switched off. And it's amazing how much you can actually get done. But also use the Pareto principle. So I concentrate for literally 20 minutes in my case, because that's what I need to do. Concentrate for 20 minutes, have a bit of a break, even if I just walk around my office, or if it's nice, I walk around outside. And it's fabulous. It's amazing, actually. So what else can you do? What else can you do to help yourself focus? Grab some coffee. Who knew that coffee was a good thing for focus? None of us, probably, hopefully. There is an enormous connection, apparently, between caffeine and cognition. I can't even say the word. While caffeine doesn't actually improve your learning or your memory performance, it does increase your physiological arousal, which makes you less apt to be distracted. So, coffee. Checking a thermostat. How hot is wherever you're working, in your office or wherever it happens to be? Or how cold is it? Because it can impact your focus. Turn on some music. In my newly beautifully decorated office, I now have my Alexa. And I put, Alexa off. I ask her, not saying her name, I ask her to find me a piece of music, creative thinking music, or whatever it happens to be on my Spotify or on my Amazon Music. And it's brilliant. And it doesn't matter what that music is, it's got to be the right thing for you. Take short breaks. Really, really important. Brief mental breaks are important. And doodling. Who knew that doodling was really rather good for you? So if you're stuck in a meeting or something like that and you're trying really hard to focus, doodling, what it does is it stabilizes your, who was it who said, I can't remember who it says now, Priestley. Daniel Priestley said, doodling simply helps stabilize arousal at an optimal level, keeping people awake or reducing the high levels of automatic arousal often associated with boredom. So, again, why can't you focus? There are certain reasons why you can't focus. One, you may be really tired. You may not be getting optimum amount of sleep. Now, it drives me absolutely mad when people say, are you getting enough sleep? Well, no, of course I'm not getting enough sleep. I'm a 54-year-old woman. I don't get sleep. That doesn't work. I have a frozen shoulder. I can't sleep. So, no, I do everything that I possibly can to try and help my sleep, to get the optimum amount of sleep, but it doesn't always work. So how can you set yourself up to get that optimum amount of sleep? What can you do? What are the rituals that you can do? See if you can have a look at your rituals and see if there's a different way that you can look at the way that you're sleeping. Negative news, that can really affect your focus. And at the moment, if you're watching or listening to the news quite a lot, it's always pretty negative. But if you're feeling pretty low due to something going on in your life that's taking away your focus, then it's going to be much harder to concentrate. So, overwhelm. Overwhelm is a massive thing, and this is something that I suffer from an enormous amount. Is there too much going on in your brain? Have you got too many plates spinning all at once? We've all been there, but what can we do about it? Well, I went on a 5-day challenge this week with Sam Adams, the amazing real life coach. She's fabulous. And the first thing that we had to do on day one was a brain dump. Now, I've known about brain dumps for many, many years, and sometimes I've done them and sometimes I haven't, and sometimes I've recommended them to other people. But when you're in complete overwhelm, remembering to do these things is really, really hard. Well, I find it really hard anyhow. And I'd completely forgotten about brain dumping. And I did it on Monday, and it was fabulous. It was absolutely fabulous. And the idea is to get everything out of your mind on paper, write it down. Now, to be honest with you, I don't write it all down. I actually write it with my Apple Pencil on my iPad, which to me is still getting it from my head onto paper. So it works for me. It might not work for you, but who knows? But this is one of the most valuable things that you can do. You brain dump everything out of your mind. It doesn't matter whether it's, oh, I've got to clean the bath. Oh, I've got to go and do some shopping, or whatever it happens to be. Oh, I mustn't forget to do my content creating, or send this email to that person, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just get the whole lot out. It goes literally just churn it out as much as you possibly can. And once you've done that, you prioritize. What are the 3 most important things that you can do today? The difference that you will feel is just unbelievable. So, brain dumping. Also, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, then quite often your focus can be quite difficult to keep going. So ask yourself, what's your why? Why am I doing this? What's my reason for doing this? Worry. I'm a worrier. I'm a massive worrier. And if I don't have something to worry about, I'll probably find something to worry about. So if you're worried about something, then your focus is likely to not be so great. So work out what it is that you're worried about. Are you worried about what's going to happen with your business, or how you're going to get something done, or have you saved up enough for your tax, or whatever? It doesn't matter what it is. Again, do a brain dump, see what it is that you're worried about. And then, do you need help? Ask yourself what you need help with. Do you need help to sort out your business, to make sure that it does keep going? Do you need some help? Do you need a VA to help you? I've recently engaged the services of a VA, and the relief is just unbelievable. My shoulders just went, whee! It's fantastic. It's amazing. Are you worried about your tax? Should you be setting up an account to make sure that you're saving the right amount of tax each month, or each quarter, or each fortnight, whatever it is? It's one less thing for you to worry about. Now, I catastrophize things. I always have done. But this is one thing that really, really helps me. What is it that you're worried about? What's your big why? What can I do to sort it out? What's my solution to sorting this out, instead of worrying about it, which is just a wasted emotion? And multitasking. God, multitasking. Why have we always thought that multitasking is a good idea, especially as women? Honestly, it used to be the done thing. It was like being busy. It's like a badge of honor. But nowadays, it's been recognized that multitasking is actually detrimental to your work. If you're trying to do 2 or 3 things at the same time, your brain is constantly switching, bouncing from task to task, and actually nothing's being done properly. And in actual fact, apparently, your brain can't do 2 things at once. So it's just not wired to do it. So how do we stop it? We create a daily schedule with a daily list of priorities with 3 things, only 3 things out of your brain dump, out of your priority list that you need to do. Limit your email time and work in bursts. So say only answer your emails in between 10 and 11 and 3 and 4 or whatever. But put an autoresponder on your email thing so that your clients know, so that your customers know. Set a time for your distractions. Someone told me about this about 3-4 weeks ago, and it was just unbelievable. It's fabulous. I set a time for my distractions. So I don't answer all my email notifications. I don't answer all my social media binging, bonging things that go on. I leave them. I answer them after I've had my lunch, usually. So in between 1 and 2, something like that. That's when I answer them. And optimize your work environment. This is why I have redone my office. I love it. It's calm. It's got my peace lilies in it. I have my music. It's the feeling of it is just wonderful. And it makes such a huge difference to me. Such a huge difference. So I'm hoping that might have helped some people. If you know anybody who would like to watch this, please share it with them. I'm very happy to share anything that I'm saying to anybody. And I'm still running courses on Profit First and how to pay yourself what you deserve for all this blood, sweat and tears that we put into our businesses. And it will help you save towards your tax as well. So even if you're only putting a certain amount over for your tax, at least you're starting there. You've got to start when you possibly can, but you need to really start as soon as possible. So I've been on for 17 minutes. That's quite long enough for anybody on a Friday morning. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Hopefully it's going to be a lot nicer weather than it has been. And yeah, I'm really loving this StreamYard. I think it works quite nicely. I hope it works quite nicely. And I'll see you all next Friday, hopefully. Thank you so much. Bye.